y'all, beautiful brown girl family. I got the wrong thing on. Just kidding. Woo!
Yo, hey everybody. Hey Kimberland, what's going on? Hi everybody.
Girl,
Thanks
these
for
internet.
for your patience. It's technology, but I'm excited. I'm glad Kimberland's here. I'm here. Welcome, everybody.
Yes. So I was having some technical difficulties, like right when it was time to press go. My computer
Right.
decided
Boom,
it
time to go.
wanted to just freeze. So here we are, another show. We can't be stopped, y'all. We up in this piece, okay? So thank y'all, of course, for always rocking with us and for being patient, as Sab said. So we see y'all coming up in here. We want to make sure that we know who's in the room. So make sure you go ahead and introduce yourself in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. Also, let us know if this is your very first time hanging out with us on Brown Versations. We love to celebrate our first timers. So make sure you put that into the comments and comment first time if this is your first time. And then for those of you that are always hanging out with us, go ahead on and drop "Hey Beautiful" in the comments so that we know we have our faithful members here hanging out and doing the thing. Okay. So I see Andrea is here. Pam is here from Maryland. Carla is in the house. Irma is here from Queens. So they are getting in here, getting this party popping. Look, it's too much stuff for us to talk about today, girl.
We got a lot of
for
stuff
this
to talk
internet
about. A
trying to
lot
keep
of
us
good stuff.
down.
We got a lot of good stuff. We're gonna need your feedback. We need because a lot of important stuff going. Well, we think it's important, so that's why we want to bring it to you. So it's a lot.
It is.
So
So before we
So
jump into everything, the 4th was yesterday. Did you like do anything? Community, did y'all do anything for the 4th?
I was a log yesterday and today.
That's a good way to put it, girl. Me too.
What did you do? What did y'all do? Because like typically, is it for us to celebrate the 4th? You know how we always talk about things that the Black community should or should not celebrate. But anyhow, sorry, I don't mean to go on a tangent. Did you do anything, Kimberland? Did you watch anything?
I didn't do much of anything. Usually, I'm home in New Orleans during this time because Essence is usually going on. But Essence was a little bit different this year. So this year, what I actually did do as I was doing my virtual Essence situation is I watched that Versus. Y'all know what Versus I'm talking about. The Bobby Brown and Keith Sweat Versus. Did you watch it, Sab?
No. However, I did hear the commentary on it. I got the highlights, but no, I didn't watch it. So how was it, y'all?
Need to know what the people think who watched the Versus. Let me tell you something. I have not laughed so hard in so long, bro. Like, I have not laughed that hard, and I'm talking from my toes. First of all,
what?
First of all, Keith Sweat is like a diva. First off, but second off, it was clear that he thought he was showing up for like a real competition. And Bobby was struggling. You hear me? Struggling with no, not struggling, struggling with a C and a K. Okay, my home girl, I thought he was gonna have a coronary on the stage, like real life. I posted on my page. I was like, "Say y'all, we need to direct all the prayer warriors over here because he is going to pass out." Like his shirt was soaking wet. Like if you look back when he was trying to hit the nose, he was like it was.
Kimberland, that is so not funny. Nice. Can I just say that is not?
It is very honest though. Very honest. Look, they watched. No, I heard the recap.
Did you watch it?
Elise said that she watched. Oh, Irma said Bobby is a bum. Bobby. So in Bobby's defense, he's been going through a lot. Right. He's still in mourning. And what I really think that happened is I really think his people were probably like, yeah, Bobby gonna be there. When you say July 2nd? Yeah, he been training. He good. Yep, he gonna be there. And Bobby did not get the memo. Like, he was not okay. Sasha said he looks to be in poor health. Like, he was not okay at all. Like, as Keith was so petty, like the whole time Keith was kind of like, give me something now. My last name Sweat. Give me something to sweat about. I ain't sweated yet. Bruh, it was so crazy. Like, y'all got to go back and watch the recap. If you didn't see it, watch it. Like, I was just standing like this was me the entire verses. Just in shock and awe, disbelief, like could not believe, understand what was happening. It was so much. Like, I just don't even think you all understand like how y'all gotta go back. Y'all gotta go back and watch. Like, I don't wanna spoil it too much for you, but y'all have got to go back. And I see the love in the comments, like the people are like they love Bobby, like Bobby has been through some stuff and all of that. I get that. This is my point though. This was verses. Like, this is not just, oh, let's come and have a Bobby tribute. Like, this was verses. Like, they were supposed to be, at least Keith thought, singing, and that did not happen. Like, it was a mess. It was a mess. So anyway, that's what I did with my fourth. And clearly some of the community did that as well. And yeah, it was really a sight to see. It was really a sight to see. So I just had to get that out before we got started with everything, because it was lit. I have not laughed that hard in a really long time. Like, real talk.
You have to think about that. Keith has been on tour, Bobby not so much. So that's probably why you heard the panting of the breath and the feeling like he's tired, because Keith has constantly been on tour. This is what I'm hearing from the clip. But I'm glad that you got a lot of entertainment out of it. I'm glad that everybody got a lot of entertainment out of it. But it was just nice to see them and them get their flowers, like on the Breakfast Club. I listened to their interview on the Breakfast Club, and you know, they are still, Bobby has lived. So it was just really good to see them still here and still performing, especially Bobby.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, y'all check that out and see what you think. But I didn't mean to kick us in like to a whole topic, because some of our people are first timers, right? So let's make sure we just kind of jumped into it. I couldn't hold it, y'all. My bad. Let me rewind it just a little bit. Okay. So again, if you have not introduced yourself in the comments, make sure you go ahead and do that. Let us know where you're watching from. If this is your very first time hanging out with us, make sure that you let us know that as well by typing first time in the comments. And then if you're always here with us, make sure you type hey beautiful in the comments. I do want to shout out a few of our first timers that are here. So we have Yvonne is here. Welcome. Hey beautiful. We also have Sharissa is here. And Sasha is here from Tampa. We have Carla here as well. First timer.
Welcome.
Let me see. Do we have anyone else? If you are a first timer, again, make sure you go ahead and drop that into the comments so that we can acknowledge you. So on that note, I know we have some announcements, Sab, and I see you have a cute little shirt on over there. You want to be a model?
Yes. Can I model it really quick?
Do your thing, girl. This your world. This your world, Sab. Okay. Yes, honey.
Y'all see the?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not Kimberland level model, but I'm like trying to do my model thing.
You doing it, boo. Yeah. Well, what is it that you have on, sis? Tell the people.
Brown Girls merch. I don't know if y'all can see it. It's our beautiful Brown Girls merch. Yeah, I like this shirt. I like this shirt a lot. And I'm a t-shirt person, so I'm gonna be wearing it a lot, often, and represent the beautiful Brown Girls community. So definitely go purchase your shirt. And for today's show, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kimberland, there is a 20% discount today through 24 hours. So
24 hours.
The show started, and then till tomorrow, or 24 hours. 24 hours.
Yes. So we told you our last show about our new merch. Sab has hers on. It's the one that's pictured here on the screen. So for those of you who are watching, and anybody who watches the replay within the next 24 hours, you get the opportunity to have a 20% discount. What's the code, Sab?
BBG TV.
BBG TV.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
mm-hmm.
So you can get your shirt. I don't have mine yet because I have not been home. So you can get the shirt by going to beautifulbrowngirls.com. Also
Mm-hmm.
making sure that you get connected to us on our members network. So if you are not already connected, if you go to members.beautifulbrowngirls.com, there you will be able to see all of the items that we have, as well as see all the other things that we do in Beautiful Brown Girls. We have so many things that we are into these days. So that way you can get connected and get in our VIP space, free from the algorithm and all the things that be trying to hold a brown girl down. Okay. So
Thanks, Kimberly.
we got that in the comments. So scrolling along again, members.beautifulbrowngirls.com. Carla says she loves discounts. Well, boo, this is your chance, honey. Okay. So again, that promo code is
BBG
BBG
TV.
TV.
Mm-hmm.
BBG TV. Okay. So if you go to members.beautifulbrowngirls.com, you'll be able to get access to the members network. If you go to beautifulbrowngirls.com, you'll be able to get your merch. And then you too can model like Sab. I just want to say, Sab, that the people are here for you. Okay. I just really want you to know that they are appreciative
Thank
of these
you.
braids, honey. And Aisha said work. Okay. Just thought I'd put that out there.
Thank you, Aisha. So silly.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, I love y'all
I
community. Y'all are amazing. All right. So in full transparency, y'all, I'm over here trying to get my computer back together. So Sab, go ahead and get us started. And as soon as I get my stuff back up, I'll grab the screen share and relieve the pressure there. But
right. So we're gonna start with
go ahead.
new movies, new things coming out this month. Well, actually, no. Let's start. Well, Kimberland, what are you drinking? Are you drinking anything this show outside of water?
I don't want to go first because you always shame me. But
No,
so I'll let you go first.
no. Let me tell y'all really quickly. So yes, we want to start with drink of the show, and I am drinking a champagne. I always drink a brut. So I'm drinking this, I think it's called Veuve Clicquot, and it's a French. I don't know if you guys can see, but yeah, I was in the store. Never mind. Anyway, that's what I'm drinking, and this lady thought I spent too much on it because it's a 375 liter. She was like, "What you spent for like $30?" And I was just like, "This." So anyway, yeah, what are you drinking? Because
that's beautiful. Mine did not cost that much. I am drinking Moscato d'Asti. Okay, it was like $15. All right, but it's good. Okay, all right. So
let's go ahead and get started.
We're ready.
Sorry about that, Giddies. All right, so Respect with Jennifer Hudson is coming out on August 13th. This has been like a long-awaited film for her. So it'll be in theaters, like I said, on August 13th, and it's starring Jennifer Hudson. This will be the biopic of Aretha, obviously, and it had been pushed back. And yeah, it's dropping on August the 13th, and it will be in theaters. So it won't be on streaming services like we typically have come to expect, but in theaters. I still not ready to go to theaters yet, but you know.
Okay.
I did not know that. Are we here for it?
I want to see it. I was not prepared to have to go back into the theaters, but I definitely do want to check it out. So interesting. All right. I guess I'll have to get my life together a little bit.
All right. So the next one is Candyman. I won't. How many times?
You got 5 now. You done put a good 2.5 out there now. Don't listen.
So yes, this film is scheduled to come out August 27th. And it will be in theaters as well. But the great thing about this one, you guys, is I know we're all a little exhausted about stories that talk about Black trauma and Black pain and Black hurt. And the director was really intentional about making it. He made a specific choice that he didn't want to depict the brutalization of Black characters. Thank you. Thank you.
So does that mean that Candyman just gonna be killing a whole bunch of white people?
don't know.
I'm just trying to understand. Cause look, Sabrina's feeling me. She's like, I don't fool with Candyman. Like, real talk. Like, I got mad respect for Candyman. Okay. Like, you got that dog. You know what I mean? Like, Candyman is one of them where it's like, if you ain't coming for him, he ain't coming for you type of thing, right? But if they don't want to depict Black trauma, then it sounds like he about to be cutting up these white folks. No?
Well, maybe it'd be a different spin on it because Jordan Peele is one of the executive producers on it. And I don't feel like Jordan's art has really depicted Black trauma.
I agree. I don't remember the original Candyman enough to remember who was getting sliced and diced. I remember it enough to know my behind and keep going back to watch it. Okay.
I will.
Because I am real life scared of Candyman. Like I ain't got no shame, you know what I mean? I'm from the streets. But me and Candyman, no. So
I'm looking at y'all comments and y'all just like, no, y'all not ready. Y'all comments are moving so fast. I'm trying to keep up. So yeah, Candyman, Aretha. Let's see what else.
Mona says she just watched the original yesterday.
There you go.
You see what I'm talking about, Mona? I don't know what led you to do that because I would have been like, hey, Mona, you good? Like, but I'm just saying, like, I wanna support.
Yeah.
However, I don't want to have nightmares, and Candyman takes me there. Okay.
It's a classic, though. It's a classic.
Yes.
I hear what does Charlamagne always say? I don't want to pay people to scare me.
Barra said it's a no. I'ma need my holy oil. Sis, listen to me. Like, okay, I'm done with Candyman, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to see the highlight reel. I just no.
All right. So next we have some few updates that we want to talk to you ladies about. So few updates. So a settlement has been reached between Vanessa Bryant and the helicopter company that was involved in the Kobe Bryant and Gianna. And I don't know if this lawsuit was specifically just for Kobe and Gianna, but she did file a lawsuit and it was settled. The amount was undisclosed, but I know this won't bring Vanessa any solace, any tranquility or any peace, because you guys remember maybe several months ago, she posted the whole report of what happened and why she ended up suing, not only because of wrongful death, but because they were taking pictures of the bodies and
have released it before she could even, like, before families were notified and stuff.
Yeah. So just wanted to give you guys an update there. Again, we don't know the amount, but a settlement has been reached. So I hope that Vanessa and her daughters and her family find some type of, I don't know, Kimberland, solace.
Something.
I don't know.
But something.
Yeah. All right. So next we have an updates. So Nikole Hannah-Jones, you guys remember we talked about this how long ago, Kimberland?
It's been a few shows. Like, it's come up a couple times, but maybe a few weeks ago, or a couple shows ago, I mean. Yeah.
So yeah, Nikole Hannah-Jones, after the uproar over her hiring and her not uproar over her being hired and not giving tenure, because she was supposed to start on July 1. She didn't start on July 1. So because of all of the bad press and because of the controversy over why the university didn't give her tenure, they granted her tenure, which is like, can Kimberland help me understand what tenure is? Is that just protection over your job in instances like this?
Yeah, so in educational spaces, tenure basically means that you can't get fired.
Okay.
So for her to have tenure, especially with the work, we talked about the 1619 project, and we've been talking about critical race theory and all that kind of stuff and all the uproar about the things. Yeah. There was a right-wing movement to prevent her from getting tenure, and that they had only offered her maybe like a 5-year contract or something like that. So the precedent that had been set in the past is when someone of Nikole Hannah-Jones's caliber, and of her, she is a journalist and an author and all of that. When they are offered a position at the school, they're offered the position with tenure. So this was a huge departure from what they usually do.
Okay. From not giving her tenure, but because of all of the bad press that they got, she had gotten tenure. Can I just say, this feels like remember on the episode of Martin where he was like, "Are you happy now? Damn, Gina, I will marry you." That's what this feels like. This feels like, "Are you happy now, Nicole? Damn, all the controversy. Are you happy now?"
Right.
Like, that's what this feels like. So,
Yeah. And Aisha just put a caveat. So she was like, I said tenure means that you can't get fired. Basically, you have to do something very drastic. So you got to break the law, or it's got to be like some type of big scandal. But you can't just get fired over any little thing. Correct, that they decide. So as Selena said, tenure, you're hired for life, right? Okay. So now they have granted her tenure and she has accepted. So
yeah. Great.
Yeah. So she will be joining UNC, and I'm not sure if there were other contingencies that came along with that, but that is the update on that. So I do think a lot of times social media gets a really bad rap, and people are like, oh, you took your, issue to social media, but it's public pressure a lot of times that gets stuff like this done. So if she's happy, if she like it, I love it. Yeah. Personally, I would have been like, y'all can go kick rocks with no shoes on. But if she like it, I love it. All right. So if that's what she wanted, she feels accomplished. Boom, sis, I'm here for you. So that's where we are with that update.
All right. So next, we told y'all we had a lot to talk about. This next one. Mr. Cosby is out of prison, and I feel like, do we need to update everybody on what happened? I feel like everybody knows that he got out on a technicality. I don't know the specifics, so feel free to insert yourself. He got out on a technicality. When he gave his deposition, he was told that he wouldn't go to jail for the things that he disclosed. He disclosed that he did, in fact, slip something into more than several women's drinks. And I think in Pennsylvania, something happened where they were like, gotcha.
There was a professor at Temple University who that particular case was surrounding, and in the deposition for that case, he was promised immunity from conviction, and because that testimony that he used in the deposition was used in the case that ultimately sent him to prison, he has gotten out on the technicality because he was supposed to have immunity. What this doesn't I was about to say, what this does not mean is that he didn't do it. What this does mean is that the law has to be followed, right? The law has to follow the law too. So he has gotten out. Now, what I was hoping is that he would come out quietly and go sit down somewhere and be humble. Okay, as Kendrick Lamar says. However, we are hearing a few things. So one of the things that we have heard is that he's thinking about going back on the comedy circuit.
What?
So we were wondering, beautiful brown girl community, if you all are going out to support him, no shade or judgment if you decide to do that. But we're just wondering, will you go and see Bill Cosby if he starts doing comedy shows?
Kimberland? Okay. No, I would not. I would not. But I do have some dissenting opinions about him and the controversy around him. I think I'm so scared to say this, but I'll just say it. While I do support women of domestic violence, that's not even a question. Everyone just wants him to like rot under the jail. And I don't know if it's just because I'm thinking of him as Cliff Huxtable, or I'm thinking because he's like 80 something. I don't know how old he is, but I know he's really old. Like, how long are we going to continue to castigate this man and take his livelihood away? I don't know. I feel a little bit conflicted about it. Yes, he's guilty. Yes, I think he's a piece of bleep. But
do you feel like he served his time?
How long did he serve? He was supposed to serve 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. 3 years. he's just so old. But I mean, old people deserve to go to
Are
jail.
old people, I was about to say, are old people exempt from consequences?
No, they're not. So help me. I mean,
So I think you said something that is going into the conflict, if you will. Linda said he is 83. He served 3 years. Tiffany said he was supposed to serve 3 to 7. Thank you all. Y'all be coming through in the clutch. But what you said that I think goes into this conflict is you're thinking about Heathcliff Huxtable, not Bill Cosby. These are two different people. Heathcliff Huxtable is a character on TV, right? Bill Cosby is a man who has admitted to drugging women in order to have sex with them.
That sounds so creepy.
Also known as rape.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that the conflict comes because I was watching what's her name? Tiffany Coley. She had done a segment on it, and a lady was saying, like, you know, I feel so conflicted. Like, do I stop watching the Cosby Show? Like, do I stop watching A Different World? Like, you know, what do I do with this stuff? Right. And that was the exact thing. It's like Heathcliff Huxtable and the Huxtable family, those are characters. Like, those are characters, right?
Yeah.
But they were so real to us. And the reason why many of us went to HBCUs, why many little girls grew up wanting to be lawyers, like, you know, we really grew up in that age. But in divorcing the art from the artist, we have to deal with the humanity of this person. And the humanity of Bill Cosby is that he is not Heathcliff Huxtable. That is not who he is, right? So then to add insult to injury to this whole situation is we have Miss Rashad, his Felicia Rashad, his
TV wife,
right? Who tweeted when he was released, finally, a terrible wrong is being righted. A miscarriage of justice is corrected. Now, this is also an update because we just reported last show or the show before that she was just selected to be the dean of the College of Fine Arts, the Chadwick Boseman College of Fine Arts, might I say. And there has been a huge backlash, uproar, like, of people talking about she should resign from being the dean of the college. So once the tweet came out, she put out another statement and basically said that she is in support of sexual assault victims. Then she also put out a statement and said that she's gonna go to a class, right? So you know how when the white people mess up, they be like, I'm gonna go to diversity training, right? So she said that too, like she's gonna go to sexual assault sympathy training or something. I almost cussed. But as Beryl said, she said what she said and she meant what she said, right? So now people are wanting her to step down. So what do you all think about all of this? This is a lot.
So I did a little digging into what deans actually do. And I'll read it aloud. It says, deans are responsible for recruitment, appointment, and retention of academic administrators, faculty, and staff for their college or school. Deans create hiring plans for their college or school and participate in the recruiting and hiring process for faculty and staff. So I wanted to look that up because at first I was just like, yes, she should step down. But then I wanted to know what a dean does. If she were like some form of a guidance counselor or something like that, and she was actually guiding kids and helping kids and teaching kids, then yes, but she's not. And I think that we are so quick to react and want people canceled and want people to lose their livelihood. And while she doesn't need the money, I think people are so quick to just say she needs to be canceled. But I will say if the students don't want her there, then she doesn't need to be there. But if the students are like, look, I mean, because again, recruitment, retention, like she's a big name. Like you want that. You did want that name at your school. So no, for me, it's a no. What about you, Kimberland?
So I'm kind of torn. I see a couple of you all. I was just highlighting a couple comments that were saying she made a mistake, and that's going to come back up later in the show. So Atria, I want you to hold on to that about these mistakes. But and then to Tiffany's point, she said she's protecting her legacy.
Is she?
As far as the Cosby Show or what have you, possibly, I don't know. Mona said she should not be fired or step down. People are entitled to their own opinions, what have you. So I struggle because Elise had said something earlier to the effect of she wouldn't have tweeted it. She was like, the charges should not have been filed. I would not have tweeted that though. So
yeah, nothing to shut the F up.
In the letter is always free, okay, to just close your mouth. So regarding the letter of the law, I am not a Bill Cosby supporter. Let me say that. So I very much love the Cosby Show. I very much love A Different World. I hate that he is linked to it. I'm not going to stop watching those shows. I really like those shows. However, I do not support Bill Cosby and the way that he has moved in this world. I can understand Felicia Rashad in this being her friend and feeling like he's been wronged. However, I still think you're able to support someone when they are wrong without justifying what has happened. I feel like she tried to justify in saying, finally, like he should have never been there. Nah, he should have been there. Maybe not for that particular time, but he definitely should have been there. Like, so that's where I feel some type of way about it. As far as her stepping down as dean, I think it comes back to what you were talking about as far as retention and as far as students trusting her and feeling safe. Though she is not hands-on, she's not the dean of student life or anything like that, she still has an integral position. So if her presence causes people to feel unsafe, then I think she needs to go. Okay. I do believe that she meant what she said. So this whole cleanup situation, stop. Okay, stop. We just finished talking about tenure. I don't know if she was granted this position with tenure. If that's the case, then you don't need to go back and misrepresent and be like, oh, didn't mean that. Because girl, I meant what I said. I said what I meant. Like, just stand by what you said, But I think it's a really sticky situation. I don't know. I want to pull Melissa's comment. She said, as a professor, I report to the chair who reports to the dean. The dean has a responsibility to maintain the credibility of the college. What she said has made her decisions and credibility questionable. So, yeah.
Thank you for that, that's a great comment. It does. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting. So I think it's something we should watch and see what happens. And as far as Bill, I'm not moved by him being old at all. Like, I feel like old people need to have consequences. I feel like a lot of the reason why our country is in the condition that it's in, because we be letting old people get away with murder, literally. So I don't feel bad. I feel like there are consequences for action. So my heart doesn't break for him. Like, oh my God, I don't. Like, I'm like, yeah, so you got 7 more. Like, let's go ahead on and do that. But yeah, I don't know.
He's not going down without a fight. You just shared with me today that he got on the radio or some show or something. I don't know the context of it, but you told me that he was interviewed today.
I did. So let me tell y'all. So I don't even remember what I was listening to, but so what's her name? Stephanie Mills, as well as Tammy Roman. I listened to both of their commentaries today, and they were talking about how there's this buzz going around that Bill Cosby said, well, Howard needs to give the money back then, because he's given, I don't know how many millions of dollars to Howard University over the years. And they were like, well, then they need to give him his money back. And I heard that he said something about it too. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's a credible source, but I definitely know other people have been saying that. So.
All right. Well, we got to keep moving. All right. So next we have on the docket. So the Jordan brand, the Michael Jordan brand. If you guys are familiar, I didn't know I don't want to say I know he had I knew he had a clothing brand. I know he had shoes.
I'm like, what?
But now the Jordan brand announced the largest female roster ever. So let me share. Does he? I want to add. Do he have women clothes? Do they share women?
Nice.
Anyway,
he has women's clothing.
So the Jordan brand, more women will be represented and amplified with the brand. The brand had added 8 WNBA players to his Jordan brand to form an expansive and inclusive family, according to Nike. More women than ever are representing the Jordan brand in the largest roster ever. Yay. I mean, you see the slow clap? Because like, this is like, come on. This is like, anyway, yes, I'm excited. I don't know majority of the women on the roster just because I don't follow the WNBA as closely, but doesn't mean I don't watch a game or know when their season is. I think their season is in the summer. But anyway, I'm excited for it. I'm glad that he's doing this. And you made a point during our call about how he hasn't been as in touch with certain constituencies. Yeah. So is this one of those constituencies that you feel like he hasn't really been?
Well, I feel like he tries to stay out of like politics and movements and things of that nature. So I think it very interesting that he has decided to make a concerted effort to have all women. Because he's not like known for advocation or anything like that. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Sorry. Okay. So next on the roster, next on the roster, we want to send our thoughts and our just overall, our thoughts to those families who have lost loved ones and who are still holding out hope. Yeah. And this is surrounding the condominium collapse in Florida. I think it was in Miami, Florida. And the death toll. So today, actually, just last night, they demolished the other portion of the building. It was a controlled demolish, but they paused it because there's still a lot over.
So many people missing.
Are still missing. So the search effort had continued around the clock, but families are still holding out hope. And it collapsed on June 24th. Today is the 5th.
It's a long time. Yeah. And they were talking about last week, they were saying that at this point in time, like it would be really, really hard to find survivors. So with the additional collapsing of the building, even though it was controlled and they stopped it and all of that, it feels like hope has been given up. And I can only imagine what those families felt like just in looking at the pictures and the research. This was built on a sinkhole. There were so many opportunities for the apartment complex to right this and to recognize that this could have happened. They said that there were things that came out 2-3 years ago about the construction and how it needed to be reinforced and all of that. So now for these people to be, at home asleep in their beds and all of a sudden your apartment complex collapses, like this is like just crazy.
That the board of this building, I know there was a board that quit. It was like several members quit because they had what is that called when you have differences of opinions? They disagreed partially. So a good portion of the board members for this complex quit because disagreements and they weren't in alignment. So that was maybe 2-3 years ago that several members quit. And I didn't know, you just told me here on air that it was built on a sinkhole. I know Florida sinkholes. I'm sorry, I'm so speechless because like you hear the thoughts and prayers and sometimes you hear that it sounds so empty. But I literally just pour my heart out to those loved ones because I can't imagine. I don't want to imagine how they are feeling with their loved ones.
Yeah, so especially those, like you said, that are still missing, and so many families like are wanting closure. So definitely just praying, as Andrea said, praying for a miracle that by some way that we're able to find more survivors. It's unbelievable. And there are no words. No, there's nothing that we can say to make it better. Just only trying to figure out how we can support those families. So
Linda, I see her comments about the board members that had quit. She said they could be sued for failure to act. Didn't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just would be remiss to not mention that, just because that's such a story.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just wanted to make mention of it. All right, so next we have the NCAA. Are you a fan of NCAA Final Four? Do you watch college basketball?
A little. I'm more of a football person than basketball, but Final Four, I'm usually pretty tuned in for the most part. So this news was pretty exciting, I think.
Yeah. So the NCAA will now allow college athletes across the country to profit off of their names, their images, and their likenesses under this new interim guideline. So the organization announced last week, Wednesday. So the decision will allow students from coast to coast to strike endorsement deals, profit off of their social media accounts, sell autographs, and otherwise essentially make money off their names while they're in names, images, and likeness, and potentially millions of dollars to college athletes every year. I think this is amazing because is his name Reggie Brown? Reggie, the guy who got his Heisman taken. Reggie Bush.
Oh, I'm like,
he's a Reggie Bush. That's why he got his Heisman taken, because he was profiting off of his name while he was in college. But I think you guys mentioned the wealth gap during our call about this and how this will really help, because the majority of, I don't want to say majority of college athletes, but like football players, majority are Black, and they're broke when they're in college and they're struggling when they're in college. So this would be opportune for them to make money. I think right now, Sha'Carri, she's a Nike representative. Like this will be great. Sha'Carri Richardson is what I'm talking about. I think this is awesome. What do you think, Kimberland?
Yeah, I think it's about time. Schools have used these athletes. There you go, Maisha. Took it out of my mouth. Black bodies are being exploited consistently. So I think giving them compensation is the least that the NCAA can do, because they have been exploiting and using them for their own profit without the athletes being able to profit themselves. So I think it is past time for them to be able to profit off their own names and their own bodies.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm all for it.
Even after college, there was a situation. Even after college, these students, their likeness have been in video games.
Absolutely. And they get $0 off of that?
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
They need to be able to collect.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I think this is a great decision. So we shall see. However, I do think this is going to make like them turn up and have like their dorm rooms and their cars. Like they're going to, I'm just saying they aren't going to use these funds in the right way. They're going to be like in college when they should be focusing. I'm saying this in jest, you guys, but
I'm like, if they making it rain, whatever, it's their money. They can do what they want with it, because some are going to be responsible, and be able to free their families and to pay, whatever bills they do have. So whatever, they need to be able to have ownership over their name and over their person.
Yeah. I agree. All right. So the next topic we want to discuss, and this one was a tricky one that I wanted to talk to you guys about, because I do have a devil's advocate opinion on this one. So Olympic ban on Afro swim caps, on Black swim caps specifically for natural hair, which is typically Black women. Or I want to say Black men. Maybe he had dreads and he was
anyone who has a lot of hair.
Yeah. Okay. So swimming caps that were designed for natural hair won't be allowed at the Tokyo Olympics, with the sports world governing bodies saying that they are unsuitable due to them here's the thing, not following and deviating from the natural form of the head.
So can you read that again, please?
Yes, it says, they quoted, it says saying they are unsuitable due to not following and deviating from the natural form of the head. And to me, that it's clearly not inclusive of Black people and Black women, because this is the hair growing out of my head. Now, typically, yes, this is the hair growing out of my head, you guys, but you get what I'm saying. There's a lot of natural hairstyles out there, a lot of dreads, a lot of faux locks, dreads. Let's focus on dreads specifically, because that's the hair growing out of your head. But this isn't growing out of my head. But what I'm saying, there's a point that I'm making here. It's like, what's considered the natural form of one's head, of one's Black woman's natural head? That's still my head. So, I mentioned the devil's advocate in me.
So before you go devil's advocate,
okay,
I do want to make sure that I put this point out there, is that they claim that it is not being allowed because the company did not get it approved in time. So that there's a process that you're supposed to follow in order to have any gear that is going to be utilized during the Olympic Games has to, I'm sure, go through a real vetting process to be included. So what they are saying is that they did not follow the vetting process. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Did not know that.
Go ahead with your point, though. I'm just getting all set up.
So the devil's advocate in me, and please hear me out, community. I'm like, okay, are you wanting to swim and compete as an athlete and maintain your hair? Or are you wanting to compete? And I say that because your skin roughness, body contouring, your hair, your swimsuit fabric are all examples of things that when you move through the water, it creates a frictional drag of velocity when you're swimming, causing a minor effect upon your performance and your speed. So I'm like, if I'm the athlete, am I swimming with this? No, I'm not, because I know that this is going to hinder me from swimming optimally, because they talk about the way your body is framed, the way that your hair is. Like, a lot of them wear their hair back in a ponytail to create that non-friction. So when I look at this, let me show you guys this. I'm like, are you really competing with this in the Olympics?
So Irma has a question. So should they be going bald in the process? Should they be sacrificing their hair for their sport? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. Or, I mean, no, don't go bald, but you shouldn't have this. You shouldn't be trying to have dreads and say it's a Black thing. Why are you discriminating? Why are you discriminating? It's like, do you want to compete or do you want to maintain your hair? That's why I said it's an unpopular devil's advocate opinion. Like, can you optimally swim with this? Can you optimally swim with this?
But if there is attire or gear that I can wear to be able to swim with that, or just this, like, it's hard for me to put a hat on my head, right? So should I have to cut my hair off like to be able, because I'm an athlete? Like,
you shouldn't have to cut your hair off. You shouldn't have to cut your hair off, Kimberland. But I said what I said. That's my opinion.
No, I understand. No, I totally understand. And I think I am. So there's Kiara. Kiara says, I want to do both. I want to maintain my hair and compete. So I want to utilize a device that's a swimming cap for me to be able to maintain my hair. And I want to compete. Like, when I think about football players, for instance, like Troy Polamalu had all of this hair down his back. Like, so many athletes have dreads. They have whatever hairstyle they chose to have. In my mind, I'm like, well, somebody would pull that. Like, but they've made rules that say that you can't pull their hair, right? So why can't the same thing be done for swimming? If there are devices that have been created to make this sport inclusive, then why can't they have their hair and compete?
You just said they can't pull their hair. Yes, no one's pulling what's pulling your hair underwater? The friction, the velocity.
Right. I'm talking about football. I'm talking about football when I say that. And my reason for saying that is they made a rule in order to make it inclusive. So my question is, for swimming, why can they not make it more inclusive? I should not only have to have a certain hairstyle to be able to swim.
Yeah, I get you. I'm receiving it. And I'm looking some of these comments here, and I think it's leaning more towards why can't I have both? Why can't I mean, I'm receiving your comments, ladies.
And I'm not a swimmer. Like, I don't like getting in water. When I have relaxed hair, when I have natural hair, like, that's not the thing. Like, I'm not. But if
I
I did
love
want to
swimming.
swim, and there's a swim cap that was perfectly designed for me to be able to use it and maintain my hair, I might turn into a fish. So I just feel like it's the inclusivity of it. And, like I said, they gave their reason for why they think that, or why this didn't pass the test to be included or whatever. But I just feel like,
who's to say it wouldn't have though? You just shared the tidbit
know.
with me that they just missed the deadline.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's important.
But it's interesting.
It is. All right. I want you to introduce this next one, Kimberland, because I think you're more of a fan of her than I am. I think.
Yes. So listen, honey.
Nah.
So one of my favorite people is Tabitha Brown. And here is Tabitha with her husband Chance. I came across Tabitha Brown when she did her video with eating the Whole Foods TTLA sandwich, and she went viral from that. And now Tabitha has she was always an actress. She moved her family to Chicago, to California 15 years ago, and she's been following this dream. Well, she just recently landed a recurring role on The Chi. She's been on Ellen. She has a new seasoning with McCormick. She is just blowing up all over the place. She won the NAACP Image Award Social Media Influencer of the Year award. Like, Tab is out here killing it. Okay. So Tab went on YouTube just this past week, and she was like, y'all, after 15 years, I am finally at the place where I can retire my husband. She was like, when they moved to LA in 2004 or whenever it was, she said that she told her husband to give her 5 years to pursue her dream. He decided that he wanted to make sure they didn't have to worry about any type of money or whatever. So he decided to go to be a police officer for the LAPD. So, he did that, and
she missed the target.
Correct. She missed her deadline. It was supposed to be 5 years. It turned out to be 15. And she has finally gotten to the point where she is bringing in enough money that Chance, her husband, is now able to follow his dreams of mentoring kids and coaching kids and doing some other things and not having to wear a bulletproof vest to work every day. So Tab made her video minding her own business, okay? Now, Tab will always tell everybody, now go about your business, baby. Have the most amazing day. And even if you can't have a good one, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's. Yeah? Okay, so that is what Tab says, right? But then Wendy Williams decided that she wanted to choose violence, honey. Wendy Williams got the nerve to go on her show and talk about how Tab retired her husband. Wendy is on the show. First of all, she said she don't even know Tab. I don't even follow social media like that, so I don't even know this Tabitha Brown. But y'all sent it to me, and she's sitting up here retiring her husband. And I've been in this situation before, says Wendy. Wendy says, so the first thing he gonna do is he gonna use up all your money. Then he gonna go and do this. And like, yes, like she was straight woman scorned. Okay. So Wendy goes off on her session, honey. Child, Tab came back. Because the people, of course, tagging her in the video, right? So the people like, Tab, like Wendy out here talking about you. Honey, Tab got on this, and I'm going to channel my inner Tab. Okay, y'all got to go watch it. It's probably like four or five minutes.
Do your best
okay,
Tab right now.
Maybe this is me channeling my inner Tab. Okay, so she says, hey, honey, so y'all been sending me the clip of Wendy, and I just want to say, Wendy, God bless you. Bless you, honey. I really hope that you find someone that loves you the way that My husband loves me. See, because we've been together for 23 years, Wendy, together. Okay. We was together when we didn't have nothing. We was together while we was working for something. And baby, we are together now. Okay. And my husband sacrificed for 15 years. It was supposed to be 5, but for 15 years, he sacrificed so that I could follow my dreams. And honey, now I am giving him his dreams back, you see. And I pray that you find someone who loves you that way because you deserve it. Okay? You deserve that. And I mean, she, honey, got her together.
Did she? I mean, yes, she did. Without, like, that was the most best read I've ever heard without a cuss word. Like, I love Tabitha's spirit. I love her energy. I do follow her, but I don't follow her. Hope that makes sense. Like, sometimes it's just too much for me. But yeah, I love her energy and I love her read. But there's a lot of different opinions about this. And I am looking at the comments here. Wendy isn't right. So Wendy, let me quote Wendy really quickly. She was like, I was married for one of those. She was like, I make the money and so on and so forth. She said, go live your dreams, buy a business, stay with me on the go. See how that turned out. And she said that I predict this marriage is going to be on real rocky ground in a moment. They invest in stuff and lose money. They invest in something else and money gets swindled and stolen. So yes, he wants to.
How you gonna profess that this woman marriage about to be on rocky ground because of your tragedy?
Because of her experience. So no one's wrong in this. Tabitha's not wrong. Wendy's not wrong. They're basing it off of their experience.
Wendy's not wrong.
No, because that's Wendy's experience.
That is her opinion, but she is projecting,
asserting her onto Tabitha.
Yes,
but I don't think she's wrong in her opinions about it because she's basing it off of her experience. And we've heard.
Did I ever tell y'all I don't like Wendy Williams? Just in full transparency. I think we've talked about that before. But go ahead.
So tell us about. Can I also note that she has such a calm spirit and calm voice that she's even on the Calm Out. Like she is out here.
Yes.
Doing it. So
yes.
Recently she threw her husband a retirement
party. So Chance has been wanting to coach and all this kind of stuff. So Tab said, that's cool. She said what she had to say. Then Tab was like, and I'm about to throw my husband a party. Honey, had the hip hop preacher come to the party, one of Chance's like idols that he really just looks up to, had the man speak into his life and all of that. Chance was in tears. Like Tabitha was like, she ain't worrying about Wendy, girl, with her hurt self. Wendy is speaking from a hurt place. And I think that anytime people speak from a hurt place and then project their hurt onto someone else, that is wrong. So you can have your opinion all day, but she want to sit up there and she tries to act like she's over whatever happened with her marriage. She's not over it. But for her to use that platform to profess that Tab and Chance's marriage is going to be on the rocks, I can't even get with it. So this the thing, child. I didn't know this until this happened. Tabitha's community is called the Tabbage Patch.
I didn't know this either.
Tabitha loves avocados, right? So she has like avocado earrings, all this kind of stuff. Girl, the Tabbage Patch cut Wendy up. Y'all see the Tabbage Patch. Y'all see all of these avocados that went on Wendy's stuff, girl. It was just putting avocados in the comments because we are not here for the foolishness. Okay, Wendy chose violence. Tab out here spreading the love of Christ and avocados.
So it got us to thinking. So she calls her community the Tabbage Patch, right? The Tabbage Patch.
Mm-hmm.
We hear Brownversations. We realized that we don't have a name for our community. I mean, should we have a name for our community? You guys have been rocking with us for 3 years. 3 years. You guys gave us the name of the show.
The name, yes.
Like we reached out to our community and was like, hey, can you guys help us come up with a name? You guys gave us this show name. Now we're thinking like, should we have a community name? And if so, what should it be? Like, we need you guys, and I'm sorry to say guys, I'm from Wisconsin. We say it a lot. We need you ladies and gentlemen to help us figure out like, what would our name be if we did have a name for you, for our community, for our supporters, for our hitters.
Yeah. Eh. So y'all drop them in the comments. Be thinking on it. We're
Please.
probably gonna do like some kind of like competition or something. I don't know. But they say yes. They be here for all our shenanigans, girl. Anything we cover, they be like, yes, girl. So yeah, y'all be thinking on that. My creativity is
Yeah.
tapped out, so I ain't got nothing. But
Yeah.
y'all do. So y'all drop it into the comments. Let us know next show. Be ready to talk about what our name should be because we want to have a name
No,
too
what
and
their
an
name should be.
emoji.
What their
And
name
yeah,
should be.
y'all's name. And we want to have an emoji too. So what should our emoji be? Like, should it be like the
Ooh, you know
fist
the lady
or
that be like
like
the lady with the hand, and she
oh
be
the
like,
one that was like yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Y'all think about it. Y'all think about it. And we just wanted to throw that out there.
yeah, that would be dope. All right. So with every episode, we always have to give you the newest, the latest, the newest. I was trying to say newest, the latest and greatest when it comes to this thing called COVID.
COVID.
So the World Health Organization officially urges fully vaccinated people to mask up as the Delta variant continues to spread. It says the World Health Organization urges fully vaccinated people to continue to mask up, practice social distancing, and continue to implement other COVID-19 safety measures with the highly contagious Delta variant rapidly spreading. It says people cannot feel safe just because they have had the 2 doses. They still need to protect themselves. The World Health Organization says that it says during the press conference, blah, 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 blah. So essentially still continue to wear your mask because there's a new variant out. Here in Texas, you have a lot of folks that still aren't wearing their masks. I'm gonna put myself out there. Whenever I'm in an open place, like I went to TGI Fridays, and the place is really open, you guys, and I didn't wear my mask in there because I wasn't sitting next to anybody. They have like outdoor seating, and their windows are still open. Like no one sits next to me. So in those situations, I don't wear my mask, but like when I go into a store or anything or going to a gas station, I still wear my mask, and I still feel that awkwardness. I still feel left out. We talked about this last show about how society makes you feel extra size. How do you pronounce that? Not ostracized.
Ostracized.
For wearing your mask. When you're in a place of people that don't wear their masks. So we've said this before, we'll continue to say it. Do what's best for you and your family to continue to stay safe. We wear our masks to keep others safe, but I also wear my mask to keep me safe.
Yep. And the Delta variant is a lot of kids are getting it. So again, just make sure that you are doing what you need to do to protect yourself.
Yeah. All right. So Essence Vex, we talked about this a little earlier. So I wanted to show this, and I did check the website out earlier. Let me see if I can put it in the chat here. So Essence Fest ended yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Yay.
Correct.
No. Okay, so they did something a little cool this year. I'm going to post it here and see if you guys can see it, and we can pin it. But they did a virtual experience this year. They brought everything that you love about shopping at Essence live on this website in New Orleans, and it's right at your fingertips. And they have all of these Black-owned businesses that you can shop. So when you go to this virtual space, you can shop all of these awesome Black businesses. And I thought that this was so dope. But like I said, I checked today, and it was still up. But yeah, so Essence Fest ended yesterday, but you can still go ahead and shop and go and experience that. It's just really cool the way they have it set up, you guys. Really cool the way they have this set up. And I was just like, okay, Essence.
Yeah. Essence is a business.
And I'm like, when you look at this virtual picture.
Yes. That's exactly what it was like in the convention center. And I'm just going to go ahead and go on record and say that my dream is to one day be on an Essence stage. So I'm going to just put that out here on July 5th, 2021, that I want that to happen in the next few years. But yes, Essence is everything. It is literally the collection of things Black. So definitely go over to the virtual marketplace and check out some of those products. Find some new products, and then you'll also see some that you're already familiar with.
I thought that was amazing. Did you check it out, Kimberland?
Yeah, I checked out a few of them. It's so many. So I didn't
Yeah,
want to
there
get
are a
lost.
lot.
And, I'm trying to be fiscally responsible, but yeah, it's super dope.
Yeah, there were a lot. All right, so next we want to talk about Shikari, not Shikari, because I've been pronouncing it incorrectly. We want to get it correct. So Shikari, we all know that she failed her. Well, if you don't know, you now we're telling you that she failed her drug test and she was suspended from competing in the 100-meter at the Tokyo Olympics after failing her drug test. And we're sending Shikari a lot of love. I love seeing how a lot of Black women are supporting this young girl. She's 21 years old, and she failed her drug test because of smoking marijuana. And the
She
reason
didn't
why,
smoke. She ate an edible.
oh, she ate an edible. Okay.
Mhm.
She found out that her biological mother had passed away from a reporter. Yo, that was so tacky. And that made me so angry when I heard her say that. But she found out while she was getting interviewed from a reporter. And she's 21. These people don't have, I don't want to say she doesn't have, she has a support system, but she doesn't have the, what is she?
She
She's
doesn't have like a PR person or anything like
people to
that.
help her cope with this. I don't
Right.
know what you call her. It's not the NCAA. Is it the NCAA?
No. I don't know right now.
I forgot. I'm sorry. Maybe you guys
But
can help us out.
you
But they
can
don't have people
imagine.
around them to help support them
Right.
this stuff throughout these
Correct.
situations is what I'm saying.
Correct.
So
So
yeah,
she
she went
did take full responsibility for her actions. She
She
did
did.
a interview on the Today Show and
Mhm.
basically said that she knew what the rules were. She knew that she should not do it. It was a decision that she had made as she was trying to cope and really didn't know what else to do. This happened in Oregon. Marijuana is legal in Oregon.
Mhm, mhm.
However, we're talking about the Olympics, which is global, right? So marijuana is on the list of banned substances in the Olympic Federation, whatever their oversight thing is called. So there's a lot that's going on. So there are a lot of people who are very supportive of Sha'Carri, and then there are others that are not, right? So some
Mhm.
people are very much like rules of rules, like she knew the rules and it is what it is. And then there are some people who are like, she's a kid, like we've all made silly mistakes, we've all done things that were detrimental. I can definitely say when I first heard about it, I was super disappointed. I was like, oh my gosh, like, could you not wait, right? This is before I knew everything that was happening or why it had happened.
Mhm.
But then I also wound up doing some additional digging after coming across some stuff on Facebook. And I ran across a couple problematic tweets that she had put out. And they were tweets that seemed to be anti-LGBTQ plus, specifically in regards to Lil Nas X and men who wear pink, which I found interesting because Sha'Carri is also a member of the LGBTQ plus community, but this is what's out there. So as I was reading her Twitter feed, it comes across very much like a 21-year-old girl from wherever she's from, right? So it really led me to thinking about what you said, Sab, of her being 21 and how many of us have made stupid mistakes. Like, I know if people go back and look at my social media from like when Facebook first started, like
Mhm.
what was I talking about,
You was
child? I
wilding?
don't even know. I was wilding, okay?
Really?
Just saying whatever, okay? Like I wasn't like cursing and all that kind of stuff, but I had very strong opinions. I've always been opinionated. And my opinions have
What?
drastically shifted. Shut up.
You
My
stop.
opinions have drastically shifted in the past 2 to 3 years. Specifically, if I think about LGBTQ plus rights and the LGBTQ plus community, my opinions have drastically and my beliefs have drastically shifted, as well as marijuana. It has drastically shifted in the past few years. So I was thinking, I'm like, well, would I want somebody to go back and dig up some of my stuff. Beryl said she was wilding on MySpace. Right, MySpace, Black Planet, girl. I was out here in these streets, okay? College Club, girl. I was like getting it in, okay? So I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, well, I wouldn't want somebody to go back and drag up my stuff to try to hold me to it. The difference is that she is in this current state. So I think it's a lot that's going on with her right now. And I think we as older women, our question is really how can we support each other? Because this is just one story, Sab, because you had a couple others that came across your feed about Brazilian butt lifts or something.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get this picture up. So yeah, the story that I wanted to bring up is just the constant criticism of Black women, and it does have to deal with Brazilian butt lifts, but mainly just the critique with women like Tiny Harris. People talked about her looks and how someone like her could end up with T.I. And, she heard the criticisms, she listened, she got cosmetic surgery because of your criticism. I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying people. Criticisms. She went to Africa, got her eyes done, and then people still made fun of her appearance. So same with this is a picture of so this picture went viral. I hadn't seen it until I was doing the research for the show, but it was at least 10 or 12 women that were coming from the DR that were in wheelchairs that had gotten Brazilian butt lifts, and they criticized these women for having low self-esteem and not liking their natural bodies. And same with Sha'Carri. Mainly Black men were talking about how she looked so manly. And I'm like, this is a whole daggone athlete who works out and practices every freaking day. Regardless, because she has a lot of muscles, it's like they constantly critique Black women with how they look and their appearance. And I wanted to share this clip with you from Demetria L. Lucas, and it's a podcast that I listen to, and it's a clip that I really want you guys to listen to, and then we can talk.
Constantly tearing this woman down. Then she goes and gets surgery to correct the things that you have told her are flaws, and then you criticize her for not having high self-esteem and giving in to reigning notions of Black beauty. And I specifically say Black beauty because our beauty standards are very different than other groups. But you tell her she's ugly and she's not for years and years and years. And then when she hears you and agrees with you, you tell her she has low self-esteem and that she shouldn't have gone to fix the things that you said were wrong with her. What the And that's exactly the same thing that I feel like is happening with this BBL shaming. It's not new. Folks been mad about Black women getting plastic surgery since they found out Black women were getting plastic surgery. But this video circulating has turned it into a much louder.
Okay, wait.
Because people are having the same conversation in different spaces at the same
Somebody
time.
said they can't hear it.
But it's like you've complained for years that Black women are.
We can hear it.
Don't take care of themselves. That Black women are unattractive. That Black women are manly looking. So when Black women go get surgeries to be more attractive, after you've told them for years that they're unattractive, you tell them that they have low self-esteem and that they're shallow and superficial and that you like natural bodies. You don't like natural bodies. You don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't have been shaming Black women all these years for their natural bodies.
So yeah, I wanted to share that because I thought that was really important, because it's like, ladies, we're like like the comments about these women getting BBLs were overwhelmingly negative. And the question that I wanted to ask is like, at what point are we going to do we have to start like a movement to kind of like circumvent this? Because it seems like anything that we do, they're going to always have something to criticize us about. Like, we're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't. Tiny, you criticize Tiny, she went and did something about it. You criticize her for doing something about it. Sha'Carri is an athlete. You criticize her for having muscles. You criticize women for, I don't know, Kimberland, I feel so exhausted. Like, I'm so exhausted. This narrative of targeting Black women is just so, it's incensing. And I'm like, do we just...
Yeah, it is exhausting. And I was even thinking about Monique was back in the news because she had posted another picture of someone who was wearing a bonnet or something in the airport. And it's like, why do you think that's helpful? Like, what do we need to do a better job at supporting each other? So one of the things I know with Beautiful Brown Girls that we really pride ourselves on making sure that we are creating safe and inclusive environments for any person who identifies as a brown girl. We are not here to police how brown you are or how girl you are. Okay. Like if you identify as a beautiful brown girl, this is a safe and inclusive place for you. And we did have and still have our movement that we kind of want to revamp because we feel like we need to flood the internet with positivity about brown women. So we have our Beautiful Brown Girls Are campaign, and that is to talk about the things that we are, right? So many times we focus on the things that that we aren't, right? When we look in the mirror, we say horrible things about ourselves. When we look at other brown girls, we say horrible things about them. Like this is our chance to really focus on the positive aspects of ourselves, to take a lot of this self-hate and self-shame and this respectability politics and wanting to be adjacent to whiteness, like taking all of that stuff and turning it into our power. So if you go to beautifulbrowngirlsr.com, you're able to upload a picture and declare what you are, right? So Beautiful brown girls are courageous. Beautiful brown girls are beautiful. Beautiful brown girls are enough. How about that? We are enough just the way that we are, right? Because we spend so much time trying to contort and do all these mental gymnastics, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Like showing up as our beautiful brown selves in all of our glory, with our flaws, with our strengths, with our everything, and just recognizing that we are enough. So we want you all to... No, I'm serious though. Like, so we want y'all to go to beautifulbrowngirlsr.com. Change your profile picture. You can upload any picture that you want, that you feel shows you. You can do a different picture every day if you want. There is no limit on it, but we really want to flood the internet with positivity about brown girls, because not only is the world tearing us down, but we're tearing each other down, and it's time out for all that.
Yeah. Thank you, Kimberland, for that. And yeah, it's definitely needed because the world is constantly, I think they just envy us. I do. I think the world, a lot of people just envy how we can switch things up and how we learn how to move in this space. And to that, I wanted to talk about our mental health moment, which talks about how we need you and how we can prioritize our self-care when there are so many barriers and we need to learn how to put ourselves first. So I found this article on essence.com, and I just thought that this was a really good article, and I wanted to share and talk to you ladies about it. And it says, the benefit of taking a break is twofold. You will not only model to your community the value of caring for yourself, but you will also be more productive after you take a pause. So this article from essence.com talked about the way that we need to rethink the way that we see self-care and the practice of self-care, and how Black women, we are a living, breathing being in need of nourishment and rest. And when you first read this, when you first hear me say that, you're just like, duh, of course, yes. But are you really truly living, breathing, and consciously replenishing your being? And African-American women have been revered by their communities when it comes to healing and conflict resolution and leadership. And I wanted to read a few things give you some tips on how we can truly take care of ourselves. So for one, you need to learn what truly replenishes you. So once you figure out that, whether it's going for a walk or zoning out in the bath or carving out some time to incorporate into your lifestyle, I know for me, it's also finding things. It's about doing something that really makes you happy, and it can be easier than you realize. So for me, I like trail hiking. I love trail hiking. I love flower shopping. I love flower arranging. Shout out to, what's the name of the young lady that came on and did flower arranging?
Talia.
Shout out to her.
Talia
Like,
Boom.
I love flower arranging. And then another one is holding yourself accountable to that end, but that you're also giving yourself grace. It is crucial to note that there is no cookie cutter, one size fits all approach when it comes to caring for yourself. So if whatever you choose to do brings you peace without disrupting the peace of others, shout out to Tabitha.
Yeah.
That's the perfect path to a healthier you, and a healthier you can be the best for you. So it's not rocket science, just being intentional and taking that initiative to really break away and do the things that you really like and really make you happy. And I know you're probably like, duh, but yeah, these are things that it's even hard for me sometimes to just like break away and do those things and get out the house, especially working from home. I have to break away and do those things. How are you feeling about that?
I appreciate what you just said, because it's the intentionality in it. I think a lot of times we know what to do, but being intentional and actually planning the time to do that is a completely different thing. This past week, I interviewed Nadia Payan on Brown Girl Boss. If you all didn't get a chance to see the show, I do highly recommend that you go back and watch it, because she was talking about getting back in touch with creativity in our inner child. And one of the questions she asked us is, when is the last time that you really felt free? Like that you felt free to be yourself and just love and appreciate the things that you love. And for so many of us, we were like 8, 10, like it's been so long since we've had the chance to exist as our free selves and just truly connected. So that has got me thinking, and I've been making a list, like when you said things that make you happy, what are the things that bring you joy? For some people, it's hard to identify that. So that's what I'm going to do this week, is I'm going to make lists of things that bring me joy, and every day I'm going to be intentional about doing something that brings me joy, even if that means taking a nap. Because taking naps brings me joy. Amen, somebody.
I love that. I didn't even...
I love me a good nap. Okay?
I love that. I love that. I love that.
Yes. So y'all keep dropping that into the comments. There is power in community and power in putting it out into the atmosphere, right? So what can you do to commit to self-care this week?
Taking a nap. All right. So we are beautiful brown girls this month. Our beautiful brown spotlight this month is her name is Michelle Hoskins, and it's a Black owned business, and it's Michelle Syrups. And let us know if you've ever heard of this, because can I tell y'all, I went to the store today to look for it. I didn't find it, but I'll still go back. Anyway, so this is Michelle Hoskins. She is the CEO and founder of Michelle Foods, and she is the first Black woman-owned multi-million-dollar syrup company that produces honey cream syrup, butter pecan syrup, and mint maple cream syrup. And she saw a sales boom after the Aunt Jemima syrup controversy. And her products can be found in more than 10,000 food stores nationwide, including Stop Shop, Albertsons, Kroger, Publix, Super Target, Cubs Foods, H-E-B, Jewel Foods, Peep Fresh Market, Stack Van, Till, Safeway, and Mariano's. Like all of those stores.
Nice.
I did go to Kroger's today to see if they had it. But she started her business in her mother's basement in 1984 with the recipe that had been in her family for generations. Her great-great-great-grandmother had created the signature syrup recipe for a family that she cooked for in the 1860s. And you can learn more about Michelle syrups on michellefoods.com, and I will Michelle Foods with one L, and I'll post it here in the comments. So multi-million-dollar business. I want this syrup. So I will go to several Kroger's if I have to see, because I went to Kroger's today and they didn't have it. So
or maybe you can request it, Sab. Like maybe we can, like I know my Publix, for instance, in Florida, like if you requested something, they would make every effort to get it. So maybe we can all like go and request it at our particular grocer.
Okay. Yes, Adriana, honey cream, butter pecan, maple.
Yes. And I've been needing a new syrup since Aunt Jemima. So I'm definitely going to go and check out Miss Michelle and what she has to offer. So that's what's up. Cool beans. Well, y'all, we definitely, as always, thank y'all for rocking with us and hanging out with us on Brown Conversations. This is literally the highlight of our week. I know we say that every week, but we really mean it. I promise you. Sab, can you put up the pic where we have all of the ways for everyone to get connected? So we know we had quite a few first timers that are rocking with us this week. So we want to make sure that you are connected to us in all the ways that matter. Shout out. So they said Amazon has the syrup, y'all. Bet. Nice. So we want to make sure that you all are connected to us in all the ways that matter. So we want you to be sure to go to beautifulbrowngirls.com. Also make sure that you have liked us on Facebook at Beautiful Brown Girls, that you have joined our Facebook group Beautifully Shaded, that you followed us on Instagram at Beautifully Shaded and on Twitter at Beautiful Brown U. We also want to make sure that you have connected with us on our members network. So again, if you go to members.beautifulbrowngirls.com, you'll be able to get connected to our VIP area where we are free from the algorithms and free from all the things that be trying to hold a brown girl down. And that way you can hear about all of the meetups that we have. We're back to in-person brunches. Some people are doing more than brunch. I saw the other day, like there was I think a wine taste. There's all kinds of things going on.
Did y'all see what's happening? There was one that was outside.
Yeah, it was so beautiful. Yes. So there are some dope things that are happening. So you want to see if there is a Beautiful Brown Girl community that is near to you, or maybe you feel like you are being called to head up a Beautiful Brown Girl community. We here for that too, okay? So definitely want to get you plugged in and connected so that you can really be a part of this community as we are here doing everything that we can to make sure we have a like-minded community. And looking for everything that we can do to uplift each other. So having said that, Sab, tell the people where they can find you.
You guys can find me on sabjackson.com. And you can connect with me on LinkedIn as well. All of my platforms are on sabjackson.com. That's where, yes, I want to mention, yes, that's where you go. I'm laughing because I'm like, I want to mention my podcast, but I don't want someone to come in here and say, Sabrina, where's your last episode? I'm like, I know.
So where's your podcast?
Bet on a Black Woman on all your podcast platforms, but I haven't recorded an episode since April because I'm still just trying to figure out the content of it because of the transition. The podcast was Sab and her job transition journey. So I'm still just really trying to figure out what the angle will be now. That's what the holdup is, to be quite honest with you.
But you might have some new viewers here, so they need to go back and catch those previous episodes, okay?
Yes, you are right.
We need to make sure the people know, all right? So y'all can find me over at KimberlandJackson.com. I am in the process of revamping my website, so the best place to get the updated information is either on Facebook at Kimberland Jackson or on my Instagram at Kimberland J. You can also, I have a few podcasts that are out. So I have a podcast called The Whole Child, which focuses on healing from childhood trauma, so that we are able to build healthy children. So you can find that on thewholechild.tv. And coming in August, my new podcast is going to be out. It's called Minding My Black Ass Business. And I can relate, Sab, to what you were talking about of where that is going to go, right? But I have some really amazing things, y'all, that are happening. And I'm going global. I'm going to just say that. So this is going to be the journey. Yes, this is going to be my journey of going global. So you'll get the story of what inspired it. You'll get the story of what that looks like to create this global brand that I'm in the process of creating. So again, that is Minding My Black Ass Business, but you can find that at Kimberland J or Kimberland Jackson. And once it's launched, of course, you all will be the first to know. So having said,
on that Essence stage,
yeah,
we gonna like campaign to get Kimberland on that Essence stage. I'll be backstage. I'm a good backstage person, but we need to get Kimberland. We need to.
I'm here for it. I receive it. So yeah, y'all, it's some amazing things that are in the works. So definitely want to make sure you all stay connected to us. We love you all so much. We mean that from the bottom of our hearts. We will be back with our next episode of Brown Conversations on July 19th, right here, same time, same place. Until then, we'll catch y'all next time. Bye, y'all.
Bye.